Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, this is that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I'm your humble host, Eric the Kevin Bacon ordered on Wish Sizemore, joined by my beloved co-host, Andrew Class Squatch TD, and Michael, for some unbeknownst reason, Quiet Labune. They will be back.
Quiet Michael.
They will be back with some.
Not Michael Diamond.
I'm putting the nicknames in the middle. All right.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, before we get to their funny meme, first, the depressing news. Oh, that's not right.
Woo!
Not right. That is not right at all. There we go.
Everything's wrong.
Everything is awful.
Everything. Yeah, exactly. So, yes. A trademarked, copyrighted, incredibly important component of Facebook for the Blind, the depressing news. Lots of news today, a lot of reruns. You know, they're still talking about Rupert Murdoch, knowing that his people were lying, that everyone on Fox was lying. And, I don't know. I mean, it's great that it's in print and it's in court, but who didn't know this? Jim Jordan this week had some crazy testimony where he called up his FBI whistleblowers to face scrutiny from Democrats. The thing is that the whistleblowers were fake. Basically, there are 3 or more former FBI agents who were suspended or lost their security clearances because they were either at the January 6th insurrection, or they supported insurrectionists, or they refused to arrest white supremacists and domestic terrorists like the 3%ers. So one of the guys was ordered to go in and he's like, I'm not going to do it because this is overkill. And it's you can see the guy on videotape at the Capitol with an AR-15. But you think maybe at his house, he's wearing kid gloves? Give me a break. Anyway, bunch of butthurt FBI, guys that couldn't do their jobs are now being called whistleblowers. And I think it was Rolling Stone at the best that said Jim Jordan's testimony opens with a face plant, which was about right. Let's do some good news. Marijuana shop on every corner in Oklahoma because they just voted on full legalization. That's right. Oklahoma has embraced medical marijuana with some 400 dispensaries in Oklahoma City alone. So, fun in Oklahoma. I got a reason to maybe go there. I don't know, possibly. Hey, you guys know about this company, Blackstone? They own everything in the world, and they're part of the reason that property is so expensive. Well, it turns out that Blackstone blocked investor withdrawals from $71 billion in their own funds back in February. Can you imagine if you went to the bank and you're like, hey, I'd like my $71 billion, and they were like, no. So that's interesting. They also defaulted on $500 million that they owed to another company. So I don't know, Blackstone's not having that good of a time, and if they collapse, maybe the real estate market will collapse with it, and maybe some of us could buy a house. I don't know, maybe, probably not. Speaking of millionaire billionaire types that are really dumb, FTX, headed by this Sam Bankman-Fried, who's seen here being led away in cuffs, has lost $9 billion. Just vanished. $9.3 billion that were in the customer accounts are gone. And I'm wondering, did they check the couch? Whenever I lose money, it's in the couch. Almost every time. Just saying. And I read the whole story.
Great shot of his bodyguard, by the way.
Yeah.
His bodyguard saw this picture and was like, I look fucking tough.
That's true. That's so funny. I didn't notice he's wearing the same jacket as Trump's lawyer Cohen. Michael Cohen's got that same suit. Funny.
He doesn't fill it out like him, though.
No, that's true. That's true. He does look like some kind of Batman character, though.
He looks like Dean Malenko. Isn't that right, TD?
He looks like he ate Dean Malenko, but yeah.
All right, good times. Google has denied using an AI algorithm to pick which employees to fire. It's like,
Fuck.
which is like, I don't know if when it comes to when politicians say they didn't do something, I suspect they did. So, anyway, one of the first commenters says, "Of course they deny it. The AI told them to." Speaking of billionaires making stupid decisions, Tesla's headquarters is leaving Texas to return to California because Elon is a smart-brained person that does things right the first time. Twit. Florida man has died from a brain-eating amoeba. And there apparently is a huge outbreak of brain-eating amoebas in Florida. And I know what you're all thinking, like, wow, a brain-targeting amoeba. You just wouldn't think that would come up in Florida.
God damn it. Here we go.
Boston, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Florida man in the news also. Action News Jax reports a Florida man charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after he threw an alligator through a drive-through window at Wendy's.
Hell. Did they
Top
fuck up
comment.
his Frosty?
Top commenter, my man Ben says, Florida man armed and gators. So, as you may remember, one of the usual suspects on this show, Marjorie Taylor Greene, had made a big stink all across the country by calling for a national divorce. And Sean Hannity, has even stepped in to try and help MTG clean up her succession mess, but it's not going well because, it's just terrible. And what I just think is funny and nobody has mentioned is that Marjorie Taylor Greene just completed her own divorce back in November. So it's been 3 months, and she had so much fun getting divorced, she decided the whole country should do it. Isn't that hilarious? Just, what the hell? Anyway, you might remember her divorce was pretty funny, too, because Marjorie Taylor Greene has said before in the past that marriage is a wonderful thing, and it is between a man and a woman and a couple other dudes and her gym instructor and a guy named Larry. Friend of the show, Rudy, posts this picture of Lake Tahoe and the Sierras from space. And they're covered in snow. You can see lakes, and they're just framed in white, which is very unusual in the deserts of Nevada.
Yeah, eat shit, science.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. It snowed all across the country. A lot of weird weather going on. As we were talking about before the show, Michael, you said that you heard about 10 feet of snow in the San Bernardino Mountains. Woo!
Yeah.
That is too much snow. A judge has denied a January 6th defendant's bid for time to review McCarthy's Capitol security footage. You see, McCarthy thought it'd be a brilliant idea to give like 70 billion hours of footage directly from the Capitol Police to Tucker Carlson because, he's an investigative journalist like 60 Minutes or, 2020 or Frontline, Tucker Carlson. Anyway, so now several judges across the country are listening to requests mid-trial of January 6th insurrectionists saying, hey, we want to look at the footage. And judges are mostly saying, why? Like, what is going to be in there for you? Give me your best case scenario. Like, we've already seen footage of you with mace and bear spray and a club, on the grounds. What could possibly be in there? Also, we found out this week that one of our intelligence agencies decided to say that maybe the COVID-19 virus escaped from the lab in Wuhan. And they also said it with low confidence. But everybody who heard the Tangerine Tornado former president who said, it was a lab leak, they're all vindicated. And they're just shouting it from the rooftops. And people are screaming, yes, we are vindicated. It escaped from a lab, and it is a Chinese bioweapon. And one of my favorite responses says, now, if it was a Chinese bioweapon, that would mean the largest, most deadly attack in America happened during the Trump administration. And instead of fighting back, he sent food and medical supplies to China while he told us to ingest bleach and shove lights inside ourselves. I also saw about 21 tweets where he praised Xi, President Xi, Premier Xi, whatever, the leader of China. He's doing a bang-up job, doing a great job. So, yeah, it's tough with these guys. South Carolina is considering the death penalty for women seeking abortions, while gun-related crimes carry a maximum 10-year sentence. Let's just read that headline again, just for a moment. South Carolina considering death penalty for women seeking abortions, while gun-related crimes carry a maximum 10-year sentence. And if you missed it, Jon Stewart had a state Republican, not a federal Republican, but a state level Republican on his show, and the guy was super duper absolutist, Second Amendment, and he's just like, and you've put forward a bill, to stop grooming and outlaw, transvestites and stuff. He's like, but how many children were killed by transvestites? What's the number one killer of children? Because it's not transvestites. And the guy was, I don't know, it was really good. It was a really good
he eviscerated that guy.
Oh.
The guy starts talking about he says, like, he's asking him, are you infringing on the rights? Because this guy was really stuck on this, right? The Second Amendment shall not be infringed upon. So then he's like, what about freedom of speech? Aren't you infringing on this, like, these drag queens' freedom of speech to talk? And he's like, not, they have the freedom of speech, but not the children. And he says, why? And he says, because in some cases, the government has a duty to protect children. And Jon Stewart goes, excuse me, what?
Yeah, what was that part?
And he goes, what's the number one killer of children? I'll give you a hint. It's not drag queens.
Fuck.
More than cancer, more than car accidents, guns. Like, that's it, man. Like, fucking, you could see it on the guy's face.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm bucked. Like, there's no way out of this. Like, yeah, he absolutely eviscerated him. It was a really beautiful thing to watch.
Nice. Made a good point about registering to vote too, which I thought was great. And he's just like, is that not
Yeah.
Because that's not infringement? But yeah, he really led him through it. And it's like the constitutional education here is just, I guess we need to hire more comedians to do this.
Round one.
To give him a little reminder of, like, hey, remember laws? All right, most of the way through the news here. Illinois has an assault weapons ban, and of course, another downstate judge has ruled against the Illinois assault weapons ban because, I don't know, I don't even understand.
Southern Illinois is the southernmost point in the United States. You can't get further south than Southern Illinois. That is some fucking regressive country down there.
For those of you who don't live in Illinois, I would like you to know that Champaign is safely in the northern part of the state. The south starts 9 minutes south of here, okay?
Is that really what they consider, like, Southern Illinois? 9 minutes away?
Bologna, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Hello.
that is insane. That means that when the next Civil War breaks out, we're ready for it.
Yeah,
Culturally, yeah, that's right.
But before the Civil War, we should go down there for, like, a midget wrestling act or something else down there.
Hell yeah.
Monster.
I mean, there seems to be a big market for it around here.
9 minutes south, huge market. All right, moving on. Turkish Competition Board said Monday it has decided to fine billionaire Elon Musk 0.1% of Twitter's gross income in Turkey in 2022. And you're like, yeah, sticking it to the man. Then you remember, oh yeah, wait, but since Elon took over, Twitter's not making any money. Twitter's losing money. Right. 0.1% of negative, well, it's a negative. Turkey's gonna owe Elon. We like to close out with a heartwarming animal story. I thought this is pretty good, actually. There was an entomologist who saw this really cool bug on the outside of an Arkansas Walmart and just, like, clapped his hand over it and just carried it through the store while he did his shopping. Then he went home, mounted it with some pins, and stuck it on a wall and forgot about it. Then he busted it out while he's teaching an online class, and in the middle of explaining, oh yeah, this is this kind of insect, he realizes, oh, it's not this kind of insect. And then he figures out this is a Jurassic era insect that has not been sighted in the United States in 75 years. And no one has any idea how it got to Arkansas. Just reappeared. This was around when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, and now they're back in Arkansas. So, yay. It's kind of fun. The big news this week in animal stories was that there was a clam that was found that was born the same year as Abraham Lincoln, Florida man making his third appearance in the show. We haven't even gotten out of the news. Florida man finds a giant clam estimated to be 214 years old. Look at that. Aberclam Lincoln. 214. And you know that fucker is fried and breaded right now. That has been the news from Facebook for the Blind for March 7th, 2023. And now on to my beautiful co-host Michael Labune with a nice long round one.
All right. Kicking off round one with I'm Every Woman at OK But Still. Friend of the show, I'm Every Woman, OK But Still. Says, when a guy at your work dies, all his PTO flies out of him like Sonic Ring. Middle class fancy, friend of the show, middle class fancy. If you're not middle class fancy, too fancy. They retweet Norman at EmoNormy, who says, made so many tips because I offered every child a margarita and white families love that joke. All right, this one I'm gonna have TD read for us. It's coming from Fuck Jerry.
Well, I will read it when I can see it. I'm not seeing any of your memes, senor.
Oh.
What?
Technical difficulties.
Try again.
Technical difficulties. That's my gig. Okay.
Okay. Fuck Jerry.
This is the
friend of
first
show.
one, and this is the second one, and this
Yeah.
is this one. Go,
Yes.
TD.
All right. Friend of the show, Fuck Jerry. Love Fuck Jerry. He's a great guy. He posts a picture of a cake and written in icing on top of the cake. It is a little heart and whatnot. It just says, I'm sorry, I'm a grumpy bitch. ... No, I'm down.
Why don't you go ahead? You gotta plug your show. This is a baking while baked.
This is kind of the culinary stuff you would see on Baking While Baked, the show where I make delightful baked goods full of sugar and spice while I'm full of herb. Follow me on TikTok at Couchman Bakes, and you can see Baking While Baked. There's a playlist.
Seven tells me you said that before. This is coming
Yes.
from Rad Dad, friend of the show, Rad Dad. And it says, for some reason, my dad feels the need to rip ass before every photo. What the actual fuck? But the photo itself is this really tall guy. And he's with three women who are all running away and cracking up laughing. And he's sort of like bent at the knees. He's got a pretty focused look on his face, a little half grin. This is a picture of a man actively farting. That's Trash Can Paul, friend of the show, Trash Can Paul, has a picture of somebody texting while driving, and it says, the worst part about driving is looking up from your phone. I got about 3 more memes for this round. Here's a picture of John Lennon. It's on, it looks like a marquee at the bottom. Looks like this is the news. It's FNN, which I'm guessing is fake news network. Picture of John Lennon in his iconic John Lennon glasses, and it says, breaking news, rejoice, John Lennon is still dead. I'm just joking, but fuck John Lennon and fuck the Beatles. Salad Days, friend of the show, Salad Days, says the veterinary clinic shaved my dog's head. All the neighbors are laughing, and I've been afraid to sleep for 3 days. Listen, I got to point out here, they didn't just shave his head, they also shaved his ears. And I think that's the weirdest part. He looks like, this is like a Lasha Apsa maybe, and its nose still has hair. From the neck down, it still has hair around its mouth, but it's just
it
looks
is
like
eyes, ears, and head.
He looks like Uncle Fester. And then there's pictures of him at nighttime, and his eyes are glowing. I mean, it is truly terrifying.
It looks like if you combined a demon, Uncle Fester, and Wilford Brimley.
I think. Let me see if I can zoom in. I think this is the worst one because because this is like a far away shot for our listeners, and it's kind of a tall dog, and it just looks like a bald man's head on top of like, I don't know. It just looks, everything about this is just wrong and awful. And I love it. The Hard Times, friend of the show, The Hard Times, has a picture of George W. Bush, and it says, famous painter George Bush canceled after early 2000s war crime allegations resurfaced. And lastly, Eric, I'm going to have you read this meme for us.
Indeed. One moment. We got a man using a wood chipper, and he's putting logs in there, and it is captioned, "Why is he putting logs in the billionaire machine?" I'll have you know that half a dozen of my friends who pay attention to what I like sent me this meme. Wood chippers must be on sale this week.
That's it for my round one. Kick it over to TD. See what you brought this week.
How y'all doing? All right, it is time for TD's world famous, often imitated, never duplicated short round one.
Boom.
All right, kicking it off here this week. We have the superhero fun time vintage action figure rock you page. Follow them, and I'm not repeating it. And we got it's a panel like a comic book page, and we got Spider-Man sitting on a toilet, and because of the nature of Spider-Man's suit, his entire costume is around his ankles. He's like, la la la, you know, sitting on the toilet, la la la, love my alone time. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, my spidey senses are tingling. Like, oh, shit, not now, I'm literally on the can. And all of a sudden, you know, the Sinister Six pops in, consisting of Lizard, Mysterio, Doc Ock, Electro, Green Goblin, and Scorpion. And it's all action figure, like Robot Chicken style. And it says, the last thing you... I can't even read all this, it's too small. Says, yeah, like literally, I can't read.
Which panel did you leave off on?
I'm on the Sinister Six one.
Sinister Six come in. Yes, at long last, you are defenseless against us. The foul stench, it's unbearable. Courtesy flush. We're gonna die here. We're all gonna die. Run away. You see lots of running, an open door, a slam, and Spider-Man sitting on the toilet reading his paper says, "Saved by the Bell." Double decker Taco Supreme. Only at Dong Taco Bell.
And I love how at the bottom is like, Taco Bell does not approve this message. The end.
Be weirder if they did.
Yeah, honestly.
Brought to you by Colon Blow by Taco Bell.
Right. I can't say that. I just had Taco Bell for dinner. All right, front of the show, Chad Williams posts a picture, and it's that classic Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's, you know, pointing at the TV with a beer and a cigarette in the other hand. It says, when you're watching the news and yet another one of your theories, in quotes, comes true. You know, Leo's pointing, I served Facebook jail time for saying that 3 months ago. And it's weird times. All right, front of the show, Joe Animal posts, apparently it's rude to poke someone in the forehead and say, skip intro when they start talking to you. If you know Joe, he's probably done that.
I've thought about it.
I know you, yeah. Okay, no, front of the show, Jason Jester posts a picture, and it's TV personality chef Guy Fieri, and he's holding a hat that he had just autographed. But the hat's got a picture of the silhouette of a Bigfoot, and it says, Bigfoot is real, and he tried to eat my ass. Guy Fieri. There's a lot going on here, folks.
There is a lot going
First off, Guy looks like I feel right now.
Right.
Yeah. There's just a lot going on here.
That's great, though. Kind of makes me want to carry around a hat that says Bigfoot is real and he tried to eat my ass.
I'm surprised I don't own that hat, honestly.
Just in case. You know, in case I run into Guy Fieri.
Right. All right. Jason Jester once again posts this. It just says, self-proclaimed Jesus Christ of Kenya claims his life is in danger after a section of residents said he must be crucified during Easter the same way Jesus was crucified. The residents have said he will resurrect on the third day. He has reported this matter to the police.
Oh. Whoa.
Like, look, you're gonna be a con man.
Wow.
You gotta like learn to like respect the people that bought into your shit. You know what I'm saying?
That is messed up, man.
I'd be like, no, you don't get. I'm the sequel. It's a whole different ending. That was season 1.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, that's not how we're doing the cliffhanger season finale this time.
Plot twist! Plot twist!
I don't die.
Good times.
Good times.
Oh,
All right.
wow. Was that it?
No, that's not it. I got a couple more.
What happened? What happened?
I don't know.
There we go.
Friend of the show, Chandler Schmidt. Sorry, Chandler. He posted a picture. It's a center picture with a bunch of other pictures surrounding it. And the middle picture says random things that have lasted longer than the Confederacy. And there's a Dixie flag in there. And it's got like, the two original guys from Panic at the Disco. And the fries at Taco Bell. The spin-off Benson from the show Soap, the popularity of the Snuggie, the entire filming of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Ghostbusters cereal, Mayor McCheese is a McDonald's mascot, Elton John's farewell tour, fucking Pokemon Go has outlasted the Confederacy, and the original run of Goosebumps books by R.L. Stein.
I think the absolute best one is Mayor McCheese as the McDonald's mascot. So I'm like, oh. I vaguely remember that week.
But yeah, the filming of one of the greatest movie trilogies of all time lasted longer than your history.
Yeah. Mayor McCheese is making me hungry.
Yeah, I could go for some McDonald's. All right, next. Disgruntled Underground 2.0 post a picture, and it's like SpongeBob's hand like rifling through a filing cabinet, and 3 of the files are labeled pizza party, the words "we are family" in quotes, and the third one is break room snacks, and this picture is labeled management when all the staff are unvalued and underpaid and on the verge of quitting.
Dude,
I swear, if I have to hear the phrase "we are family" at work one more time.
Dude, that reminds me of the meme we did a couple weeks ago where it just said that, if pizza parties were such a motivating incentive, you'd think they'd be a larger part of CEO compensation.
Yeah. Not, a $15 billion bonus.
Jesus Christ. Yup.
I guess,
this is, this is fucking, what's happening, right? Like,
yeah.
The thing is, middle management can't give the raises.
No.
And so it's they're not the ones you have to the people who are saying don't fucking give them raises. That's the people who have to look at these folks. So the manager's like, I can swing pizza.
I just want to say,
and I'm such a fat ass. The pizza usually works for me. All right, moving on.
I want to send a shout out to Jax. Thanks for joining us, and I guess goodbye to Renee. I think she disappeared.
Oh no.
Oh no, you're back. Okay, she said take care.
Right.
Oh wait. No.
Well, no. Kenneth left.
Oh, bye, Kenneth. Sorry. Okay. Having a hard time keeping track. Hey, Nan. Everybody's here.
All right. This is the last one I got for round 1 here. It's from friend of the show, Ricky and the Boss, and it's an animated dude standing at the top of a hill, pants around his ankles, grunting, trying to pinch off a turd. And in the next frame, it's the same guy now. He's got his pants up and he's looking at the turd that just sitting right at the top of the hill. Says, well, look at that, to another guy. Says, shit does not roll downhill. You're just an awful manager.
I love that.
I love the conviction that he had to like, look, motherfucker, we're going to top of this hill. I'm going to poop and prove my theory.
Oh my god!
All right, that's all I got for round one. Sizemore, off to you, buddy.
Lovely. Oh, wait, I gotta do the. Oh man, so many buttons. So
many buttons.
So many buttons.
The hardest button to button.
I would like to let you all know that we are not the only Zoom comedy show. There are other Zoom comedy shows, and I'm particularly proud of our intros because I watched Carrie Gravison do this one the other night. Grab your Z-Pack. This lineup is sick. Grab your Narcan. This lineup is dope. Grab your psychiatrist. This lineup is insane. Basically, you need health insurance for this show.
Oh my god.
It's actually a pretty good one. Oh, hey, you know what? I'm gonna throw this one to you, Michael. Would you mind reading this line right here?
Sure. So we have a picture of Bugs Bunny in drag and two like bald knobbers. They look very, very, very hillbilly looking, long bearded, overall wearing, barefoot guys. And they're both just like, one of them is drooling heart-shaped spittle. And Animals with Powerful Auras, friends of the show, Animals with Powerful Auras says this image is illegal in Arkansas. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that paid off so much better than I thought.
that was good. That was good.
Well done, and thank you, good sir. Right, moving on. This is from FB4tB, a weekly memecast. If you're not following FB4tB, a memecast, you are missing out. It says, here's something you should know about wolves. Wolves do not carry more than $10 in cash at any given moment, and they also will eat you. Brought to you by me and Incomprehensible. If you're not following me and Incomprehensible, that's probably understandable. They're incomprehensible. All right, moving on. Friend of the show, Laura, says this is 100% accurate. Post from Lynn Miclia, who says, using Microsoft Word, moves an image 1 millimeter to the left. All text and images shift. 4 new pages appear. In the distance, sirens.
Can I just say, today I was trying to draft an email with bullet points and then sub-bullet points.
Yep.
And then I just wanted to add another bullet point after the sub-bullet points, and like it just like wasn't working. I tried enter backspace, backspace, nothing worked. Finally, I figured out a workaround. Just fuck it. Just, change the whole idea. I edit one of the sub-bullet points, and then I'm ready to just sign, and I hit enter, and what does it do? Starts a fucking bullet point. Just like I tried for like 10 minutes before that. I'm like, just fucking with me now.
Yeah, been there. And first comment was just like, I avoid Word like the plague. And then, of course, pedantic people jumped on. They were like, actually, it's pretty simple. I could show you a few tricks. It's like, dude, not the point. Funny joke. Moving on. Friend of the show, Rena Calm, who was just in Mason City with Stuart Huff, and I cannot believe that I didn't even realize that was going on. Rena Calm posts, I hope Tom Brady gets the full comedy experience, especially having a show get canceled for football. It's like, oh, that would be so fun. All right, about halfway through. We got 4 more left here. Over here on Instagram, memes to discuss in therapy. And if you're not following memes to discuss in therapy, do you have memes to discuss in therapy? Then maybe you should. They pass along this goodie from Worm Food, who post at Frogs for Girls, her. So, are you into BDSM? Me, crying. Bees can have mental illnesses?
I hate this joke.
The bee.
So fucking dumb.
DSM. I love this joke.
God.
Discuss it in therapy. Moving on. Friend of the show, Al Ducharme says, I used to smoke a joint, do a couple shots of whiskey just before a roller coaster ride. I was the ride operator. That's pretty tight, Al. I got two more. Friend of the show and founder George Cruikshank posted this picture of Little Richard, and a two-panel. Little Richard on top says, "He never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play a guitar." And the bottom picture says, "Without even having a sense of smell." I know, it's funny. It made me laugh, and I don't even know why.
It's so dumb.
Is that what it is? We're into March now, which is a weird month, and I don't know what month it is, but February was Black History Month, and I don't think we got nearly enough coverage on that. Also, 2 years ago is when we did our Rush Limbaugh's Dead show. That was very funny stuff. Do it again. I'd do it again. I wish he'd die again, because that was fun. Michael, I really enjoyed that. Anyway, so I wanted to close out with this one. It's a picture of Rush Limbaugh. He's got his hands steepled together with his fingers up by his lips, looking very thoughtful. And he says, "I just thought it would be nice to finally do something useful for Black History Month. So I died." And that wraps up my very wholesome round one. Going back to you, Mr. Michael.
All right, here we go. This time I'm going to share my screen. Adrienne Marie Brown, friend of the show, Adrienne Marie Brown has this picture of a beaver, and it says, "Nobody speaks." Nobody says anything. A beaver seeing running water, and then the beaver says, "Absolutely fucking not." Anarcho-spirituality. Someone we know, anarcho-spirituality, has a picture of these cops hassling this driver. And the guy says, "Officer, I'm telling you, speed is relative." Anarcho-spirituality was really on their cop shit. Here's another cop hassling a driver. The cop says, "Anything in the car I should know about?" "Me." "Nah, just stuff you shouldn't know about." Cop. "Cool, have a good day." Oh boy, here's a picture of a cop. This is the Hard Times, friend of the show, the Hard Times. And this cop, I want to point out to our listeners, this cop looks just especially mean. He just is piercing light blue eyes. He just looks very, very, very mean. He's looking over his right shoulder, and he's got an asp on his shoulder. And it says, "Think being a cop is easy? I'd like to see you get called an asshole and not commit second-degree murder afterwards." All right, here's the classic meme format of Drake, really just rejecting something, and then the next one is Drake smiling, head back, like, "Yeah, that's the thing." And the first thing he's rejecting is pro-state messaging. Well, he rejects that, but he accepts prostate massaging.
Oh, Jesus.
And I want to point out for our listeners, the A in massaging is the anarchy symbol. Anarchist prostate massaging. I got about 4 more for this round. Marginal Mennonite Society posts this one. It's a friend of the show, Marginal Mennonite Society. It's a picture of an angel, like classic painting of an angel speaking to a young woman. You can assume it's the Virgin Mary. It says, "And the angel said unto her, Fear not, Mary, for I am merely a literary device." Here's a picture at first glance of a guy in a just full-blown Winnie the Pooh costume. And it says, "Fired on his first day just because he accidentally put his pants on backwards." And you look again,
Oh,
and
shit.
yeah. Sure enough, he put his pants on backwards, folks. So this mascot, this Winnie the Pooh mascot looking costume, it has a tail in the front and it looks like a wiener. History for the Witty 2.0.
It's overly dangly.
It's a hang down. He's got it. There's a hang down there. History for the Witty 2.0 has a picture of some folks. It's like another old painting. Some folks in a ship, like a rowboat, and this other guy like peeking out from around the corner. And the guy says, "Nice yacht." And then History for the Witty captions this with I want a Viking funeral, but I don't have a boat. So chuck my corpse onto some rich guy's yacht and set it on fire.
As you all are my witnesses, I want that.
Okay. This next one is back from Marginal Mennonite Society. They say it's that time of the year again. Hashtag Easter pageant. Hashtag passion play. Hashtag USA USA. It says, Google, show me the USA in one photo. And then Google responds with this. Said, what we have here, folks, is 3 white guys in loincloths. And they're doing some sort of passion play, reenacting the Passion of Christ. Except all 3 of them are white, including Jesus. And in the background, behind the 3 crosses, we see the double arches of McDonald's and a parking lot filled with cars in between. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The United States of America in one photo, rounding out round 2.
Well
Kicking it over to
done.
TD.
Well done.
Just makes you swell with patriotic pride.
Pride I didn't even know I had. But just looking at that, yes, it does.
All right.
On to TD.
Starting round 2 here, we got front of the show, Gringo _CTM. And Gringo here post a picture of these 3 creepy looking dolls. Like their faces look like melted fat. And it says antique dolls for sale. Sometimes they move, but Psalm 91 calms them down. And like these fuckers are ugly and demonic looking creepy things.
Super creepy. Need dental work.
Yeah, yeah, they're like LeBune's family. Moving on. Friend of the show, Animal Memes. We really appreciate the work you guys are doing over there. And it's a picture of this cat, and he's got like a nice big thick white mustache, kind of looking like Wilford Brimley. And he's just kind of, looking, and got his head cockeyed, looking very serious actually, and it says, "Hookers don't fart. They're little prostitutes."
Oh God.
I like it.
What a surprise. All right, moving on. Dad jokes, front of the show, dad jokes. It's a picture of a dog in a bank standing up talking to the bank teller, and says, "Yes, I'd like to make a deposit." And the bank teller's like, "That's funny." And the dog's like, "My finances are not a fucking game, Jessica." See, think I was giving you wholesome, and then I give you some real shit. All right, moving on.
Nice.
Dwayne Gear posted a picture. It's a black and white picture of Animal, the drummer from the Muppets, my favorite Muppet. It says, "If you're asking me for advice, I'm going to assume you're out of all other rational options." And I feel this.
Yeah.
Like when someone's like, "Hey, what do you think of," like, you do realize I should probably not answer this.
But dude, that's where I'm going. I see why you've brought this to me.
I mean, yeah, that's the other way to look at it. All right. Next up here, we got Stoned Cold Fox at Roast Malone. Stoned Cold Fox says, "I wish I was as tired at bedtime as I am at 2 p.m. on any given day. I feel this in my soul. I was almost nodding off at around 2:30 today at work."
I was like saying, I have the day off. I could take a nap. And I'm like, no, because then I will be worthless. I gotta do this show.
All right, next up here, in front of the show, Jason Jester, and he posted a picture of a Red Lobster sign. But below it, there's another, it's the same exact picture, except the word red is missing. And then it says, "What you see versus what colorblind people see. This is heartbreaking," crying cat emoji.
Yay.
I don't get it. These are the same picture.
The word red is gone because they're colorblind.
You guys are hilarious.
I'm colorblind. Never mind.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I always forget you're colorblind, dude. Friend of the show, Jabberwocky Yoku McZiggy. If you're not following Jabberwocky Yoku McZiggy, the fuck? And it says, it's a repost from Amy Elizabeth Quinn. It says, today's generation will never understand Kingdom Hearts. Neither does mine. No one does. It makes no sense. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar, Kingdom Hearts is a Squaresoft video game from circa 2003. And it's basically what happens if you combine Final Fantasy, Walt Disney, and LSD. And each sequel and spinoff gets incredibly more absurd.
So we should Google it.
Yes, you'll have like a young boy fighting side by side with Donald Duck and Goofy, and they're fighting like Sephiroth from the Final Fantasy series.
This sounds like me and my last mushroom trip.
Yeah, I know.
I love that game. I own a couple of them. I enjoy the heck out of them, but I can't explain it. Moving on.
Fascinating. Kingdom Hearts.
All right, this actually comes from a friend of the show, Nan. She sent this to me.
Hey.
And it's a picture of those orange sherbet push-up pops we all ate back in the day in their colorful cardboard dispenser. It says, back in my day, we ate ice cream out of toilet paper rolls and didn't complain, because that's really all that dispenser was. It was a TP roll with sherbet in it.
And stop
And
ruining things for me.
And a plastic plunger.
Woo!
I love those plastic plungers.
I know, you fight with
Tasty.
them afterwards.
This might date me. I've never had one of those before.
That's because you're a fetus.
Oh yeah.
What?
Zygote. The proper word is zygote for how much younger he is.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
a baby.
Kyle, you're missing out then. You are missing out. Missing out.
I don't know. Call of Duty lobbies are pretty fun instead.
Oh, you youngins with your video games. Moving on. Friend of the show, Danny Burt, post dank memes, melt steel beams. I like that. And it says, just a reminder that 10 years ago, memes used to look like this. And it's four of the pillars of the meme world. You know, we got, Bad News Brian, the Velociraptor, fist pumping Yes Kid, and of course our Lord and Savior Doge. Much happy with this. Much awesome.
That's true. That's like looking back at the original 10-color, Crayola box.
Yeah, it literally is like the Mount Rushmore of me.
Yeah, fun. All right, moving on.
This is the last one I got for round 2 here. Friend of the show, Jason Jesser, post from at the Melon Lord at the pet store. Cashier, can I help you with anything? Me slaps bag of birdseed. How long did it take this shit to grow into birds?
So dumb.
Sad part is that I could picture a couple of my relatives and myself doing this.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Just giving it a good old smack like you do the top of a car. Hey, how long does this shit take turning the birds?
Nice.
I can't say it without doing that fucking accent either. That's the bad part.
Too funny.
All right, that's all I got for round 2. Have fun, Sizemore.
Well done. All right, kicking off round 2 with Feisty Soul Tribe, the group, posting this picture of a lamb, sort of in midair on a highway. I guess there's a yellow painted line here, and got its little paws down. It's in midair, and it has a little smile on its face, and it says, "When in doubt, frolic."
Nice. But I look frightening when I frolic.
Yeah, it looks feisty, like your soul is feisty. Here's a picture of Mayor Lori Lightfoot in Chicago, and the headline reads, "Lori Lightfoot can't believe city she hates wouldn't vote for her." I said to several of my Chicago people, and they all ha-ha laugh emoticoned it. I think that's pretty funny. This one's just a little tale from Brian Krasenstein. I don't know, Krasenstein. I'm not sure what kind of person he is. Acquaintance of the show, perhaps. It says, night and day. Joe Biden, quote, "It's Dad. Called to tell you I love you, pal. I love you more than the whole world, pal. You got to get some help. I know you wouldn't want to do that. I don't either, but I'm here no matter what you need. I love you." Donald Trump Jr.'s dorm mate at Wharton School, Scott Melker, quote, "Don Jr. opened the door wearing a Yankee jersey. Without saying a word, his father slapped him across the face, knocking him to the floor in front of all of his classmates. He simply said, 'Put on a suit and meet me outside,' and closed the door." Whoa! I think this was uppermost in my mind, just like bad dads were in the news. Well, I don't know about bad dads, but Joe Rogan's dad did a little tell-all chunk this week, and if you haven't seen that, that is freaking amazing. Apparently, Joe's been claiming a whole different kind of childhood with his biological dad and his half-sister just like, "You're full of crap. Why don't you come here and say that to my face?" he's like, "I'm 84 years old, Joe. Say it to my face." "Come here. What, are you afraid of me?" Oh, God, it's so baller. I insist you go. So anyway, I just, I feel a little down lately, but I found out if I picture Donald Trump Jr. in a Yankee jersey, like opening the door and the Tangerine Tornado just slaps him across the face, knocks him to the ground in front of all his friends. That brought me joy. I know it's wrong, and I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But it lifted me up. Moving on. Hey, speaking of Don Jr., here's a picture from CPAC posted by a friend of the show, Chuck, who has Don Jr. With, that yelly lady he's dating, Guilfoyle. And in between them is this guy, I guess, with platinum blonde hair, red shirt, a flag tie, red boots, this sort of a white jacket and pants, and holding a leg straight up in the air like a ballet dancer when ballet dancers do that weird stretch. And it's just captioned, "When the couple from the bar invite you home because they know you have more coke." Hey, America! That's what they're saying. Hey! Whoo! This is there's a lot going on here. I don't know how much. It's hard to look at though, so I'm moving on. Here's a picture of Jeff Goldblum. He's got his collar popped and some glasses on, suggesting this is, I don't know, the early 80s, leaning against a wall, just going, "Eh." And it's captioned, "Comedians waiting to go up when the one before him is bombing." Leaning back there going, "Yeah," licking his lips like, "Yeah."
That's pretty funny.
The theme of round 2 is enjoying bad feelings. Guilty pleasures. Speaking of, Tucker Carlson's been in the news quite a bit because of his opinion on the green M&M no longer wearing go-go boots. And we have a picture here of Tucker, and he's at his computer and apparently in his bedroom, and his mom has opened the door, and he's covering the screen with his hand and saying, "I was just doing research." He's covering up the green M&M there because Tucker Carlson's obsession with sexy green M&Ms is freaking weird. Like,
It is weird.
Then it was like Lego, and I just was like, what is it with you guys with candy and toys and talking about groomers? Is this something you're thinking about a lot? What kind of candy should I have? What's the sexiest candy? What kind of toy? You see what I'm saying? There's like something really weird going on over there. Anyway, sweaty Tucker Carlson teen throwing his hand over the screen and saying, "I was just doing research," with the green M&M. Friend of the show, Jeff Tidrick, who posts at It's Jeff Tidrick, posts, "Ashley Babbitt should have complied. Isn't that what you dipshits tell me every time cops shoot some black woman asleep in her own bed?"
Mm-hmm.
And down below at the top reply is a picture of Morgan Freeman, and it is captioned, "Nothing will stop us," tweeted woman before she was shot dead at the Capitol. And Morgan Freeman is saying, "However, something did stop her." Pretty cool. Friend of the show, Chuck, making a second appearance here by passing along the National Strategic Stockpile of Memes and Satire, who posts Lorena Bobbert's tweet saying, "Take your children to church, not drag bars." And JoJo from Jers posts, "Your husband exposed his tattooed baloney pony to a bunch of teenage girls at a bowling alley snack bar, Clanny Oakley. All they did was go to a bowling alley, and they got a peep show from a pervert. We can't even send kids to bowling alleys with your husband around, so cut the shit." and National Strategic Stockpile of Memes and Satire is emphasized Clanny Oakley. With a K. All right, got about 3 more to this round. Friend of the show and founder George making a second appearance in the show. And he has posted Riley Dolan, who's passing along a conversation from Amazon, apparently. And the twit conversation between Amazon's Prime Video and a customer says, "Hey, how's your Monday, unknown social media manager person?" And Prime Video posts back, "I think I'm depressed. Laughing my ass off." Like LMAO. And then seconds later, "Hi, Vicky here, managing director of socials for Amazon Prime Video. Apologies for the last message. That was an accident and will not be happening again. We are having a fabulous Monday and hope you are as well." George captions it, "They came out and shot this motherfucker right in your desk." Oh my God. Amazon. Oh, Amazon makes an appearance in every show. I've noticed that. This last one was posted in Library Think Tank, which you'll notice that the ALA Library Think Tank is written upside down because librarians know Facebook magical spells that are unbeknownst to the rest of you lay people. They have passed along Untitled Nerd Network with a picture of Jeff Goldblum doing a jazzy little dance in some black and white shoes and some tight black pants and a black sweater with blue hearts all over it, doing a jazzy little dance with some jazz hands out, and it says, "You have been visited by the Jeff Goldblum of happiness. Everything is fleeting, including sadness. You're welcome." Anyway, just that should have gone the whole round. But, you know, I needed it. I needed it after my dark stuff. Finally, rounding out round 2, FB4tB, a weekly memecast post, Soul Nate, M. Nate Shyamalan, says, "Founder of Costco, drunk as hell. It's gonna have hot dogs and optometrists." And that wraps up my round 2. Handing it back to you, Mr. Michael.
Kicking off round 3, we have History for the Witty 2.0, who has Rick's tweet from @PrettyRick. Okay. It says, "Remember when you were little and you'd fall on the trampoline and everyone would keep jumping so you couldn't get back up? That's how adult life feels."
Yeah.
The Laughing Librarian, friend of the
Hey.
show, the Laughing Librarian, J.R. Sanders, says, "This guy lives next to the airport. Painted this on his roof to screw with the passengers as they fly low overhead. He lives in Milwaukee." And you see this man standing on his roof, and it says a black roof, and in big white letters, it says, "Welcome to Cleveland."
That is fabo.
That's so awesome. This is a picture of Earth from outer space, and it's captioned, "What would you do in this situation?"
What?
All right, fuck you guys. I like this one.
No, yeah, wow.
That is a very good one. That is very modern. I
It's so
appreciate
good.
that.
It's like, thank you very much, guys. When you've seen a million of the "what would you do in this situation,"
Right.
and it's like, you know, some fucking thirst trap or whatever. This is just too good. The Laughing
Eric, what would you do
Librarian's
in
back.
that situation?
That's
Die.
right. That's the
I would
question.
probably die.
The one question we don't ask.
Eventually.
Huh?
The one question we never ask. What would you actually do in this situation?
Yeah, I'd probably do some shitty fucking Zoom show once a week.
Probably.
Oh, I know, right? I might
Trash-
feature.
Trash Jones at JZUX says, doing brain laundry, separating my thoughts into lights and darks. Update, left one dark thought in the lights, ruined the whole load. Feisty Soul tried the group says using foul language means you're not very bright. Me, and it's a picture of someone sitting outside and the sun is their face, and it says, "Bitch, I'm bright as fuck." Amy Skinner horsemanship. I have 3 memes left here. Amy Skinner horsemanship. There's a picture of I don't know, a woman, I think, long hair. It's good, old-timey looking painting. She has a dagger hanging from her belt. She's topless. She's dabbing, and her hair is blowing in the direction of the dab. And she says, "Help, I'm unhappy." And someone hands her a sword and says, "Okay, here's gradual change through daily habits." She replies, "No thanks, I was looking for dramatic escape." Nostalgia, friend of the show, Nostalgia. They have this picture. I don't know. It's a famous painting of King Henry the Eighth, maybe.
Yeah, King. Yeah,
King.
Yeah,
King Jeremy. King.
That is Henry VIII. That is the
King
wife
Henry
killer.
VIII on Kermit the Frog's body in a car, looking out the window, and it says, "When you see the Pope getting beaten up at the bus stop, but you remember that time he didn't let you get a divorce." And last one for round 3 comes from Chase at Chase Lyons, friend of the show, Chase Lyons, who says, "White people will be like, quote, we up to no good, devil face, end quote." But the whole time they're just at Tanner's house. All right, TD, let's see what you got for round 3.
All right, let's bring this turkey in. All right, first up, here in a second.
Yep, am I doing it wrong?
Go forward.
Forward. Oh.
No.
Fuck.
No.
I hate this system. This one?
That one.
God damn it.
You're okay, buddy. We still love you.
Thank you. Whoa.
Okay, bizarre buildings. Just post a picture and it says this building looks like it was designed in Microsoft Word, and it's a very tall building, multiple stories, but none of the windows match up at all. It's just 2 jagged, crookedy lines of windows going up the side of this motherfucker.
That is wild. And that's exactly what we were talking about with moving an image 1 millimeter.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love it.
All right, next up, friend of the show, Kristen Unakis, posting from Left Way Forward, and it says, "Meet the rat who's paid minimum wage to chew holes in Kanye's $3,000 t-shirts." And it's a picture of a rat next to a long sleeve shirt. It looks like it's, got some holes and been gnawed on. Well, anyway, Professor Barclay just comments on this saying, "Peak capitalism is not immediately knowing if this is satire."
Dude, isn't that the truth, man?
Right. Okay, moving on. I think dildo, this is from Memes Every Day, by the way. I think dildo is a perfectly acceptable insult. Like, I'd call you a dick, but you're not real enough.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Thank you. All right. Next up, I Am Awesome Sauce, friend of the show. Just as I was lied to as a child, and it's a 2 panel meme. Got a dude with a very happy look on his face. It says, "Me discovering that the Tasmanian devil is a real creature," but below he's kind of got this not happy look on his face, very disappointed. It says, "Me learning that it doesn't actually spin around like a tornado." It's always a little disappointing when you learn that.
That is true. That's true.
All right, moving on. Mika Chaz repost from Brian Evans here. It's a picture of a very smug, fat cop looking like a real prick. And it says, I see you failed to use your blinker back there. So I pulled an illegal U-turn, broke the speed limit, and forced other vehicles off the road with my flashing strobe lights so I could detain you and extort you for money to teach you a lesson of about unsafe driving habits.
Hilarious. Spot on.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. All right, next up.
Oh,
No, you're fine. That one name. Friend of the show, Dad Jokes, making a second appearance, and they repost from Nathan Odom. It says, I am thankful for the Foo Fighters because I have never felt threatened by a Foo, and that means they're doing a heck of a job on the front lines. Come on, Labune. All right. Friend of the show, I'm only here for the jokes. Post a picture of a swimming pool with quite a few people in it. It says, gender neutral bathrooms have always been a thing. I don't know what the big deal is.
Oh, the pool. That is messed up. Oh, you hurt me with this one.
But factually accurate.
Very true. Very true. Very true.
Wow.
Sometimes the truth is unpleasant.
Yeah, well, viscerally in my case. Thank you.
All right, next up. Friend of the show, once again, Kristen Unakis making a second appearance. And she reposted drug possession laws. And it says, cocaine bear if he ate weed instead. And it's a picture of this little animated bear staring, sitting in a field of flowers, staring at a 4-leaf clover, just very chill and relaxed look on his face. And God damn, I feel this. All right.
I like this bear.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Like, I feel like we could hang out a little bit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mess
We
with
could chill.
him or anything, but,
We could chill.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got friend of the show, me. I posted, Andrew TD, I posted this a few years back. A repost from Salmon Without the L. And it's a picture of like a Gatorade display, and it's got a basketball hoop in the background, but in the foreground is a huge pile of honeydew melons. And it just says, I'm about to get kicked out of the supermarket. And to this day, if I ever walk into a grocery store and I see that setup, I'm going to end up on the news.
I'm changing your nickname from Sasquatch to Poor Impulse Control.
Yes. Oh, I have so many stories. All right, moving on.
All the best stories.
Oh, including a blonde, a pizza, and a limousine. All right, moving on. Deborah M., when you're almost asleep, but you hear that you got a text and you have to roll over and see who in the world would be contacting you at the ridiculous hour of 9 p.m. And it's this cat, extreme close-up, and this cat looks so fucking confused. Its mouth, its eyes, everything about this cat is like, what the fuck, man? Again, he looks like I feel right now.
Right.
All right. Okay, next up. Julie something, at Julie something, acquaintance of the show, says, the cheese I spilled in the bottom of my oven watched me bake more stuff instead of clean it out. And it's this thing from like some, I'm guessing early 80s horror movie. And it's just this charred, crusty, bubbly, black creature thing staring kind of menacingly. And it's the cheese at the bottom of the oven watching you bake more shit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Never thought about it that way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And finally, wrapping up round 3 here, Kaylee Marie Bonnet reposed The Mother of Crazy, and it's a picture of George Costanza from Seinfeld. And it says he's leaning on a rail, and he's just looking very wistful and forlorn. And it says, me remembering a time when I didn't have to grunt every time I sat down or stood up. I feel this. And joint pain. All right, that's my round 3. Kicking it over to you, Sizemore.
I don't remember which comedian it was that was talking about the disturbing moment when they first made their father's noise. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, that was a bad day. For me, it was getting out of a car. Do you remember that? I was like, oh, and like you recognized it immediately, you know? You're like, ah. So thanks for taking me there. Hey, one last headline that I forgot because, you know, freaking, there's so much crap going on. But the big news is that the right wing lunatics that say things out loud that most people are just thinking, they just had CPAC this year, and it was good for some weird stuff. Once again, this guy called for the eradication of transgenderism, and then somehow claimed he wasn't calling for genocide. And then he played the victim. So, you know, typical. But look at this dude. I had to actually say, this is not a caricature. This failed actor really looks like this. Look at it. Doesn't he? Doesn't it? If I told you this was like AI generated, you'd believe me. Because he just looks like goofy, kind of. You know what I mean? It's like, I think Hollywood rejected him because they were just like, hey, you don't look human enough. And he's like, all right, I'll go to CPAC. Be a leader there. Anyway, absolute insane. Not going to say his name because it doesn't matter. But friend of the show, George Cruikshank, passed along this 4-panel comic about some secret agent type stuff. And we have a guy and another guy, and one's in a trench coat with a fedora, and they're meeting on a park bench, and he slides an envelope over to the other one and says, your new IDs and passports, agent. And then he walks away. The agent opens up the envelope, looks at the ID, and says, what the? And we see that the passport and all the IDs are labeled Ben Jackanoff. Dildo. Ernest Stroker. He's going, motherfucking, back in the van. And all the guys on surveillance are laughing with the headphones and the screens. It's a surveillance joke.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Thank you, George. If you're not following George, you are missing out. This next picture is from Hannah Shaw Williams, passed along by Star Wars Logic, and it just says, big fan of this cinematic universe where Pedro Pascal just wanders around collecting random orphans like they're Pokemon. And Pedro Pascal riding the horse, and he's got the girl on the back from The Last of Us, but in front of him is Baby Yoda, and it's yeah, I like this cinematic universe too. Pedro Pascal collecting them like they're Pokemon. This next one is a fake movie poster that I love. It looks very 70s. We got a guy with a gun. There's explosions and car chases and guys with guns and explosions and karate looking stuff. And it says, can't stop laughing about these bros getting triggered by they, them pronouns in rainbow. And it says, ballin' in their super trucks. Like it has to be a bit, right? How do these bros not get it? Do they not teach irony at the School of Hard Knocks? I just love a good 70s movie poster, and this one's got it all. Dug it. That one's the second appearance from the Church of Sloths, and if you're not following the Church of Sloths, you are missing out. This next one's from Commissar Jesus, friend of the show, Commissar Jesus, who says, whoopsie, 3-panel of the expanding mind, where we see these, the tiny brain, then the full lit up brain, then the glowing, radiant one. First panel, accidentally summoning a demon while doing your Latin homework. Second, intentionally summoning a demon while doing your Latin homework. Finally, summoning a demon to help you with your Latin homework. Radiant beams coming off of it. Served from scratch, and if you're not following Served from Scratch, you are missing out. It passes along unintentional at L was a mistake. Who says, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but push a man into a volcano and the sun god will ensure a bountiful harvest this season. Going with the whole thaumaturgical, magical, dark jokes. George passed this one along, and I thought it was fascinating. A marquee from somewhere that says Sunday, April 23rd, Neil Hamburger with major entertainer will be appearing there. And George comments, fucking what? And there was quite a bit of back and forth, but all I could think to say about Neil Hamburger is that guy's either an incredible burger chef or like a militant vegan. Just me. That's fine. This is a super buff, like, I don't know, Croatian looking dude with like arms that look about 32 inches around at the biceps and a huge chest. And it says actors playing a 14-year-old in a high school show now. Always been the case, but yes, they've gotten buffer and better looking and older with each passing generation. Got about 5 more here. Pass along this one from Matt Jenkins, who posts at YoungFunE, who says, I track my Amazon packages like a spouse suspecting their partner of cheating. I'm like, you were supposed to be here in 2 days, but it took you 3. Don't lie to me. I know you stayed an extra night in Ohio. All right. Grandmaster Trash, and if you're not following Grandmaster Trash memes for Hope Fiends, you are missing out. George passed this one along. Says, Frog. What? We got feedback, comment, something? No? All right.
No.
At Exact Trash only posts, Frog, I don't understand. Why did you sting me? Now we'll both drown. Scorpion. You don't understand economics. Stinging you actually creates jobs. This sting will trickle down the river and birth a new era of prosperity. Big Tobacco paid me 15 million scorpion dollars to sting you. Which I thought was about the most twisted thing that George had found in a while. I just absolutely freaking loved it. And I had to find out about Grandmaster Trash. And Grandmaster Trash memes for Hope Fiends. Apparently, he posts from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is a great location with very affordable rents these days. Thought it was very wise. Had to figure out what was going on behind him for his cover quote, and it says, all I can do now when I look at this post is laugh and amuse disgust at the content, but also disgust at myself for finding this hilarious and say, Jesus Christ, over and over and over again. 2022 is going to destroy what's left of my psycho-emotional faculties, and you have apparently taken it on yourself to be its midwife. Which I thought was hilarious. So I just kept going. Grandmaster Trash memes for Hope Fiends post. Tarot reader flips the card over. It's a Polaroid photograph of me sleeping, just like all the others. You're adorable when you're sleeping, they say. Or at least, you will be. Again, I like the random. Just me. Finally, a state senator criticized for his corporate ties and being a crack-smoking goblin fucker has been questioned over the misuse of party funds. Sources quote the senator vowing to drown in goblin pussy and wake up smoking crack in hell, which the senator vehemently denies. Okay.
Wow.
These are like the headlines I want to read. Do you know what I'm saying? Crack smoking goblin fucker. I don't get to say that, as much as I want to. And finally, except for my post with the most, this is from the other 98%, reposting Melissa Flora Bixler, who says, every time I get a gray hair, I remember that one of my stem cells is like, the working conditions here are awful, and I am done. And I respect that from a labor perspective.
Same.
She comments this, management has created a toxic work environment. I am management. Michael, what you got for your post with the most?
Post with the most this week comes from, you guessed it, the Hard Times. It's a picture of a white man smiling with the sun setting behind him, and it says, man without racist bone in body, diagnosed with severe brain racism. Not a racist bone in his body, though. What'd you get this week, TD?
All right.
Heavy.
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm still reacting to that.
Oh, okay.
TD.
All right. My post is the most. I posted this last year, and it's a picture of an elephant, and there's a guy standing next to it. And it just says, reading the instruction manual for that elephant you bought when you were drunk. We've all been there. Because if you look closely at the gentleman leaning up against the elephant, he's got a instruction manual with a picture of an elephant on. He's just reading away, and the elephant's just chilling. Like, yeah, you figure it out. And we'll go do something, bud.
Nice.
I would probably order an elephant online while hammered.
Dude. And I would read the instruction manual.
And then you'd have to keep Mary from killing me.
Oh, come on. You guys had a whole Noah's Ark collection there for a bit.
We still do. We still got the 5 dogs and
So
1 cat and 2 ducks.
So you can see why I don't think it's a big stretch for you guys to get an elephant.
We do not have the facilities for an elephant, sir. We don't have enough to feed it.
I'm just okay, whatever. All right, moving on. My posts with the most are all so weird, man. I posted this thing of the Sears house that used to be able to order. They ship it to you on a train. It's an entire home, like all the lumber and everything, and it just says $938. And man, I just got so many people on this. I think everybody really wants a home delivered to them for $938. Oh my God, would that not be amazing?
I used to work in one of those.
Really?
I worked on a farm that did everything like you would in the early 1900s.
Oh yeah.
And this was built there as the office building / that was the upper floor. The lower floors that showing everybody how the houses looked and the kitchen and all that shit.
Nice. I didn't know you did that. That's fun.
Yeah, back when I used to work with Belgian draft horses.
Nice. Well, the fun thing is, this is a Sears home. It was shipped out about 1910, I want to say. 1916, Sears catalog. Shipped the entire house. And multiple people posted where these are located all over the Midwest. Friends from near and far. And many, many people have been in these things, lived in these things, grew up in these things, have them in their towns. And I really felt a lot of emotional response on this. Like, people were like, yeah, that's a really good idea. You should be able to order a nice house that will still be there 80 years later for about $1,000. Like, that'd be great. Here's another thing. This was the second most. And it's just a couple of trams. Like, I'm not sure what you call it, like those electric trams. A couple of trains, and they're on rails, but everything is green. The entire pathway, everything but the rails is green. They're between 2 rows of trees. And it says, this is ideal urban transportation. It may not look like it, but this is what peak urbanism looks like. And this got my guy, I don't know, it was like, yeah, look at this. 21 people, lots of comments, like a whole thread of people really wanting trains and trees, right? Which is not funny, just like weird. This is what we're nostalgizing. $900 homes and urban, trams, where I guess you don't have to own a car. I don't know. Anyway, so something quasi funny. This is a real thing that happened. Kellyanne Conway went on to Fox News, and she said, ask yourself how many times you've been lied to by the people whose job it is to tell you the truth in the media. Which I think is just hilarious. The full context of this too is like, how many people in government who are supposed to tell you the truth lied to you? And it's like, Kellyanne, that was your job in government, to lie to us. That's just amazing. That's just either like, I don't know, ignorant or evil or just baller. But yeah, the fake news contributor says, how many times have you been lied to by the fake news? Ta-da! That's all I got. Freaking killed me. Not my best closer, but alas. That is what I believe has fully constituted a legally reprehensible version of Facebook for the Blind for March 7th, 2023. Mwah!
Love you, George.
Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.